Welcome, seekers of knowledge. Welcome, seekers of knowledge, you in whom words ignite the lanterns of consciousness, and whose souls are quenched by the wellspring of wisdom. Here, within the halls of Millennium Library, we embark together on a unique journey through the paths of letters and the labyrinthine corridors of ideas. This is not just a podcast, it is a cultural edifice that rises with you, from you, and for you. We are here to revive the worlds of novels, to delve into the depths of stories, and to present you with the treasures of classic literature, transcending the boundaries of time and space. Every voice you hear, every word that touches your ears, is the fruit of a joint effort, a human and artistic legacy born from the pristine collaboration between a creative human mind and promising artificial intelligence. We have worked together to transform these timeless literary masterpieces, which are now in the public domain, into captivating audio experiences, reaching you pure, clear, and rich. This work, in all its details, is the property of Millennium Library. All broadcasting and production rights are reserved to it, and everything you hear is part of this cultural legacy that we offer to the world. We kindly ask you to enjoy this unique experience and contribute to spreading the light of knowledge while respecting the ownership and rights of this creative production. Millennium Library, where human and artificial intelligence meet to create an enduring legacy. Join us now in this great auditory adventure. Karmu and Dharmu. There were once two brothers, Karmu and Dharmu. Karmu was a farmer, and Dharmu was a trader. Once, when Dharmu was away from home, Karmu gave a religious feast and did not invite Dharmu's household. When Dharmu returned and learnt this, he told his wife that he also would perform the ceremonies in his house. So they set to work and were employed in cooking rice and vegetables far into the night. And Karam Gosain came down to see what preparations Dharmu was making in his honor. And he watched from the back of the house. Just then, Dharmu strained off the water from the cooked rice and threw it out of the window, and it fell on Karam Gosain and scalded him. And as the flies and insects worried the wound, Karam Gosain went off to the Ganges and buried himself in the middle of the stream. As he had thus offended Karam Gosain, all Dharmu's undertakings failed, and he fell into deep poverty, and had not even enough to eat. So he had to take service with his brother Karmu. When the time for transplanting the rice came, Dharmu used to plow and dig the ditches and mend the gaps along with the day laborers. Karmu told him not to work himself but act as overseer of the other laborers, and the laborers also told him that it was not suitable for him to work as a laborer himself. But Dharmu said that he must earn his wages and insisted on working. And in the same way, Dharmu's wife might have acted as overseer of the women. But she was ashamed not to work too. One day they were transplanting the rice, and Karmu brought out breakfast for the laborers. He told Dharmu and his wife to wash their hands and come and eat, but they answered that they belonged to the household, and that the hired laborers should be fed first. So the laborers ate, and they ate up all the rice, and there was nothing left for Dharmu and his wife. When the midday meal was brought, the same thing happened. Dharmu and his wife got nothing, but they hoped that it would be made up to them when the wages were paid, and worked on fasting. At evening, when they came to pay the wages in kind, Dharmu's name was called out first. But he told his brother to pay the laborers first, and in doing this, the paddy was all used up, and there was nothing left for Dharmu and his wife. So they went home sorrowfully, and their children cried for food, and they had nothing to give them. In the night, Dharmu's wife said, "They promised to pay us for merely looking after the work, and instead, we worked hard and have still got nothing. We will not work for them any more. Come, let us undo the work we did today. You cut down the embankments you repaired, and I will uproot the seedlings which I planted." So they went out into the night to do this. But whenever Dharmu raised his spade, a voice called out, "Hold, hold!" And whenever his wife put out her hand to pull up the rice, a voice called out, "Hold, hold!" Then they said, "Who are you who stop us?" And the voice answered, "You have done evil and offended Karam Gosain by scalding him. This is why you have become poor, and today have worked without food and without wages. He has gone to the Ganges, and you must." And they asked how they should propitiate him. And the voice said, "Grind turmeric and put it on a plate, and buy new cloth, and dye it with turmeric, and make ready oil, and take these things to the Ganges, and call on Karam Gosain." And they believed the voice, and the next day did as it commanded, and set off, leaving their children in charge of Karmu. On the way they came to a fig tree full of figs, and they went to eat the fruit. But when they got near, they found that all the figs were full of grubs, and they sang. Exhausted by hunger, we came to a fig tree, and found it full of grubs. Oh, Karam Gosain, how far off are you? Then they came to a mango tree, and the same thing happened. And they went on and saw a cow with a calf, and they thought that they would milk the cow and drink the milk. But when they went to catch it, it ran away from them, and would not let itself be caught. And they sang, "We go to catch the cow, and it runs away. We go to catch the calf, and it runs away. Oh, Karam Gosain, how far off are you?" But the cow said to them, "Go to the banks of the Ganges." Then they came to a buffalo and went to milk it, but it lowered its head and charged them. And Dharam cried, but his wife said, "Don't cry," and sang, "If you go to catch the buffalo, Dharmu, it will kill you. How shall we drink milk? How shall we drink milk? How far off are you, O our Karam Gosain?" And the buffalo said, "Go on to the bank of the Ganges." Then they came to a horse, and they thought that they would catch it and mount it, but it kicked and snorted, and they sang. Dharmu tries to catch the horse, but it kicks and runs away. How shall we reach the Ganges? Oh, Karam Gosain, how far off are you? And the horse said, "Go to the banks of the Ganges." Then they saw an elephant, but it would not let them approach. So they decided to push on straight for the river. And they saw under a banyan tree a large pot full of rupees. But they were so disheartened that they made no attempt to touch it. Then they met a woman who asked where they were going, and when she heard, she said, "For 12 years I have had a pie measure stuck on my throat. Ask Karam Gosain for me how I am to get rid of it." And they promised. And going on, they met a woman with a bundle of thatching grass stuck to her head, and she made them promise to ask Karam Gosain how she could be freed. Then they met a woman with both her feet burning in a fire, and another with a stool stuck fast to her back, and they promised to inquire how these might be delivered. So at last they came to the Ganges, and they stood on the bank and called to Karam Gosain. And when he came, they caught hold of him, and he said, "Fie! What low caste person is touching me?" But they said, "It is no low caste person, but Dharmu." Then they bathed him, and anointed him with oil and turmeric, and wrapped him in the new cloth which they had brought. And thus they persuaded him to return. So they rose up to go back. And Dharmu asked about the women whom they had met. And Karam Gosain said, "The woman has a stool stuck to her back because when visitors came, she never offered them a seat. Let her do so in future, and she will be freed. And the woman has her feet burning in the fire because she pushed the fuel into the fire with her foot. Let her not do so in future, and she will be freed. Thatching grass stuck to her head because when she saw a friend with straw sticking in her hair, she did not tell her about it. Let her do so in future, and she will be freed. And the woman has the pie measure stuck to her throat because when her neighbor wanted to borrow her measure, she would not lend it." And Karam Gosain asked whether they had seen an elephant, and a horse, and a buffalo, and a cow, and money, and mangoes, and figs. And Dharmu said yes, but that he had not been able to catch the animals, and the fruit was bad. Karam Gosain promised them that on their way back they should take possession of all, and they did so, and mounted on the elephant, and returned to their home with great wealth. On their way they met the four women, and told them how they could be saved from their troubles. The villagers welcomed Dharmu, and he arranged a great feast, and gave paddy to all the villagers to husk. But when they had boiled it, the weather became cloudy, so that they could not dry it. So they prayed to the sun, and he at once shone out and dried the paddy. Then a day was fixed, and they prepared rice beer, and worshipped Karam Gosain, and they danced all night, and got very drunk, and enjoyed themselves. Conclusion of our journey. And so we reach the conclusion of our journey for today, within the unending worlds of words and the never folding pages of knowledge. We have spent an enjoyable and beneficial time together within the embrace of Millennium Library, where voices meet tales and a new cultural legacy is forged. We hope you have enjoyed every moment and delved deeply into the dimensions of the story or novel we presented to you. Always remember that this grand edifice, Millennium Library, is the result of a unique collaboration between human creativity and the profound depth of artificial intelligence. Our goal is to enrich your ears and minds with the treasures of world literature and to make knowledge accessible to everyone, while preserving the ownership rights of Millennium Library for this distinctive production. Don't forget to follow us and activate the notification bell to receive all new content. And share this podcast with everyone around you, For knowledge is light, and together we illuminate the paths. Until we meet again in a future episode and a new literary adventure, may you be in the care and keeping of Allah, and within the realm of immortal words. Millennium Library, where tales are embodied, knowledge is narrated, and creativity is immortalized.